capital before earnings season starts. There will be a time very soon where you're going to have to get up probably an hour early and, you know, look at gappers and do your list because there's going to be a lot of stuff moving around. Till that moment, you know, it's going to be dead out there. Let's take a look at the watch list here. I added this Levi Strauss to the watch list. It's an IPO stock, 55 million share float. You know, IPO highs is around 24-ish. You know, if it can take that out, you know, we're going to have ourselves possibly a runner on this one. It looks pretty good, actually. Like I mean, Levi Strauss, like how much could it really move, right? It's the jeans. But since it's just a recent IPO, we might be able to get this thing going. I do like the overall look of it. You can see even pre-market, you got yourself a nice trend. I added TPX to this list, but this is not as good as Levi. First of all, you don't have the pre-market liquidity that Levi does, but you do have kind of a nice range break over here. You may be able to catch a good run in this one. It tends to trade with some decent range on news, so I would give that one a B minus. This one is probably an A minus, but it becomes an A over 24. And then this Dow, this is Delta. They beat earnings out expectations today. We've been flag pattern, you know, we've been in the look a high type flag for the last few days. We're starting to come out of here. The liquidity will be good in this, but it's going to trade thick. Airline stocks in general, they trade thick, meaning like they trade almost like retail stocks. Like, you ever trade like a Walmart or something like that? It trades a little bit thick. Like it's going to trade more like an AMD, where it's going to have a lot of liquidity. It will move, but it won't move like you know, like a low float stock does, where you get like those like 10%, 15% candles. You know, it will grind higher. So when you get a play like this, when it gaps up, usually the best plays, like let it pull back to like the 9 EMA or something like that. Let it do some type of rounding. And then from there, right, you know, look at trying along with using like that rounding base as the way to manage your risk. I don't like chasing like thicker stocks up like on ORB. So like if you saw like a 1 minute ORB on Dow, I probably wouldn't take it unless it was just hot, right? You know, we want to make sure that, you know, we're having like really, really kind of just clean setups on this. This SRNE looks okay. I saw some people chatting around in the chat room. It's kind of coming out of this range here. My only issue with this one is from what we have seen in the small cap space lately, the best small caps, they're doing a million plus volume pre-market. This one's at like 300,000 shares, which is still quite a bit, but it's not epic. This INPX is just coming out of nowhere right now. You know, if this thing can hang out like over 140, you do got room to kind of go on this. The float on this is really, really tiny. So, you know, you should, this one could be the one that has like, this one could be the random, you know, the random pump of the day. How we'll know if this really goes is it's just going to be like, right, you're going to need some asshole to, you know, put this in his chat room, and then then it's going to fly, right? So I hate trading stocks that are dependent on that stuff, but that's just the way this space goes. Watch this thing, you know, if you start to see these guys come in, watch for that volume pre-market. You know, this one, if the market cap is really 1 million shares, then the float on this is going to be like in the hundreds of thousands. Which means, I mean, you're talking like just a handful of buy orders could pop it 10, 15, 20% like per minute. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. So I would keep that on the list too. Definitely has a chance to go. And then, yeah, I mean, you can see here this AVGR's starting to cruise too. You're getting a lot of, you know, you're getting some room on this one too. This one's already got 7 million shares of volume. So you're seeing mega volume on that one also. When you guys have like that kind of mega volume, right, 7 million shares, that's when, you know, you could have the possibility of getting something that really has the ability to go. Now remember, these things can dump out of nowhere. So unless you get like that picture perfect pattern, that rounding base, some way to measure your risk, then it's not going to be worth it, right? You don't want to take just a flyer on these things because they can come back. They can come back down so easy. Like they can come back down really far. So we don't want to, you know, we don't want to get too wild with that stuff. So just kind of be mindful of those different things when you're looking at this, right? Like if you saw like ATAI yesterday, you know, it had like this awesome move in the pre, you know, at the open. And then, right, I mean, it dropped almost in half before, you know, it started to rebound back up. So, you know, be mindful. Like, you need these kind of bases and stuff. So it's like you always, if you get the push at the open, you'll get really nice trades. Then you get the consolidation, and then, you know, you can go. So watch on this AVGR. Like, don't just chase it up just to chase it up, right? Let it come and settle. And I think you guys are going to be good to go. You know, beyond that, yeah, I didn't see anything that was that zesty. The beauty of the market is what? You only need one hot play in a day, right? How many hot plays do you really need? None, right? You only need a few. So let's make sure that we really focus up and that we have just like a nice focus on a handful of names. The worst thing you can do in this type of market where there's not much going on is you just sashay around from play to play. You know, you're like, oh, this one's going. Oh, this one's going. When nothing's really going. And before you know it, you just blow like a lot of money in commissions. You blow a lot of money on just random junk. And then it's all good. We had fun in boot camp class yesterday. That was day 1 of 60 days. So let's keep at that. Make sure you guys do your homework. Quizzes, homework, all that fun stuff. I will see everybody in the chat room for the next few hours. And then I'll see everybody in class 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's go do what we do, people. Let's have a little fun. And try to be nice.